So you got clout. I'm on now. I'm on now. Hey, so you got clout. So you got clout. I'm on now. Say I'm on now. Hey, gotta celebrate life, and that's alright. Know what I do. Yeah, I can't been working so hard, disappointing the couples out of these moves. Let me hit snooze, time for me to get up. Get bust, I ain't got time to be stuck. You been escaping, but there's so many tickets up. It's been an honor, the blessing, I don't believe in luck. I'm ready for my son, yeah.
So you said earlier you've been acting for about 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
When did your passion for acting start?
So all throughout, like, I've always been involved in the arts. I actually come from a really artsy family. And so I've always been involved in music, dance, performing arts of all ranges. I did theater stuff throughout middle school and high school and some acting in college. But I think it wasn't really until about 3 or 4 years ago that I was like super passionate about it. Like, okay, I absolutely love this. This is what I want to do. Really? I think I don't remember exactly where the switch came in, but like me having done a lot of different things in performing arts up to that point, I don't know. I always had it in me. And then one day I was just like, I really love this. And just went for it.
So what sparked, because you're from New York originally, right? So what sparked the move to Atlanta? What made you take that leap? Was it a project or like you just living in the prairie?
Yeah, after college, I went to Florida State. And after college, I had the option of going back to New York, staying in Florida, go to LA, or lovely Atlanta. And I went back to New York for a little while, but I felt like as a new actress, as a new artist, starting fresh with really like no credits or anything like that, I knew Atlanta would be a great place for me to start. I felt like Atlanta was more, at the time, more privy to actors of color. So that was pretty much the motivation for me to come here versus go straight out to LA where I didn't know anybody, or go up to New York where it was going to be really expensive and I'd end up living with a bunch of people. Growing up as the only child, I was very much used to just being alone by myself, having my own space. So those factors went into consideration, and I knew 2 people here in Atlanta and was like, hey, I want to come to Atlanta. Can I stay with you for like a few weeks? That was it.
That's for a lot of people. Yeah. So, were you involved in like film at all in New York? Is it something that you stepped into a little bit before you jumped?
So I got started in production first. So I learned a lot about the film business and television through working behind the scenes as production assistant location scout, you name it. I was always like working on a set in some behind the scenes factor. But I knew that I wanted to be in front of the camera. I knew that. So when I moved to Atlanta, I just took the leap. I was just like, boom, Atlanta. In Atlanta, I'm an actress.
Yeah.
And it was because I felt like, it's a little different now, you know. You could be a professional slasher and be like, I'm a this.
Yeah.
You know?
Really.
But then at that time, it was more so like, I always use the analogy, if my mechanic told me he was a rapper, I'd be annoyed. Because at this moment, you need to fix my muffler or my oil change or whatever it is you're doing on my car is what I need you to focus on. I don't care to know what other endeavors you have, not in this space.
Yeah.
You know, if you see me out on the street and you want to tell me that, great. But in this space, I need you to stick to what I know you can do.
Yeah.
So for me, it was that type of thing. I was just like, working in production is great. I'm learning a lot. But nobody here wants to hear that I really want to be an actress. Because then they think, well, you're just here so you can get close to whoever you need to get close to show them you're an actress. So I wanted to separate the two. So when I got to Atlanta, went full-fledged into acting classes, workshops, tried that extra thing for like 2 days. hated it personally. It just was not for me. So I opted against spending any more time in extras holding.
What was the project?
It was a Tyler Perry project.
Okay.
That's not what made me hate acting. Nothing against Tyler Perry. That's not what made me hate doing extra work. It just was not for me.
It's not fun. I think it's good practice though. But if you really want to see if like this is for you, doing that bottom work. I'm a fan of doing the steps. I'm a fan of steps. So I feel like if you just, because a lot of people, and I feel that, because a lot of people just, I just want to be an actor.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you really care? Do you really have a passion for it? Do this. Do the bottom work. Because if you can hang with this, then you might want to do this for real.
See, I have a totally different perspective on that. For me, I've always been on the accelerated path of life. And for me, it was more so, I seen it and I thought it was great, but I felt like I could learn because of that 12-hour day. 9 of those hours was in a tent.
Bus or something, yeah.
Somewhere way off a set where you're not actually seeing anything. You're just talking to other people who, do whatever they do for a living.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I was not going to learn anything. So after 2 times of doing that, I was just like, I think I'm gonna just go look for a class.
Yeah.
I was working at the Cheesecake Factory part-time.
That's such an active job.
Yeah. I did not last there either. I was only there for like 3, maybe 4 months. Like, I knew that I wanted to be a creative, but I also believe that there's no such thing as consequences and everything happens for a reason.
Right.
So in that job at the Cheesecake Factory, I met this young lady named Tiffany who happened to work at Tyler Perry Studios. And she was actually casting for a whole different project, independent project. And she was like, oh, come in and audition. And I ended up getting that project. And that's how it started with me in acting. Although I didn't really, I mean, I had a background in acting as a kid, but as an adult, I did not. But that was my first thing in front of a camera, my first project in front of a camera. And from there, I knew I didn't feel like I did my best. So I was just like, I need to train. I need to take real classes as an adult with, a coach or someone who actually knows how to tell me what to do, like how to point me in the right direction.
So the experience was bittersweet.
Yeah. That's why I'm just like, the extra thing,
Yeah, I feel that.
Try something.
I think it's good to experience though. I think it's good to experience. I agree. I think it's a great experience because it helps you see if it's for you in that element. Yeah.
Like me working in production, I learned different parts of what it takes to put a production together. However, I knew I kind of want to be in front of the camera. I knew that. So when I made the transition into in front of the camera, same thing. I tried the extras thing for 2-3 days. It was in a matter of a week, literally. It was couple days in 1 week, and I was just like, this is not it. This is not what I want to do. I need to just go take classes. So I think it's great because some people do it just for the check. Some people do it for the sake of networking and meeting other people. Some people do it because they feel as if they could really learn something about the acting craft. I respect all of it. It just wasn't for me.
I feel that, yeah. I feel the same way, but I probably did 3 or 4 or 5 times. Mm-hmm. I was told very early, if you don't want to be the extra guy, don't keep doing it. So I haven't been back since. Yeah. That was about 4 years ago.
I believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that.
I definitely took his warning because he did 200 projects. So he went up.
Right.
I think he told me he had 200 extra credits.
Yeah. Because then you become an extra.
A liability. It's like, you're always on standby.
You become an extra.
Yeah, that's not what I wanted either.
That's alright. Know what I do. Yeah, I can't been working so hard. They're supporting the companies out of these moves. Let me hit snooze. Time for me to get up. Get bust. I ain't got time to be stuck. You've been escaping, nobody so many tickets up. It's been an honor, the blessing. I don't believe in luck. I'm ready for my son, yeah. And I dare you to get in my way. Cause I'm ready for my son, yeah. You better get so you got clout. So you got clout. I'm on now. Say, so you got clout.